Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now, your #1 source for tips, tricks, and everything you need to know for Fantasy Premier League football. Today, we're going to be going over an updated wildcard draft for Game Week 10. So, if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 35 likes today. Leave a comment, have you activated the chip yet, or who are you thinking of bringing in this week? Subscribe if you're brand new. Let's get into the video. So, with today's updated wildcard draft video, I'm actually only going to be going over the one draft, and that is just simply because I think this is potentially the best team you could have at this moment in time. So as always, we're going to go over the defenders and then the midfielders and then the forwards, but in goal we have Sanchez and Foster. Now of course, before I would have opted for Raya, but now he's out for like 4 to 5 months, which is really unfortunate because I know quite a few people transferred him in this week, and because he just had such nice fixtures coming up, like the Brentford fixtures. If you had Raya in goal, you would have had him for Burnley, Norwich, and then Newcastle, which are just 3 really nice fixtures, especially with how good Brentford have been at the back. I completely understand why a lot of people brought him in, but yeah, for whatever reason, he's now out for 4 to 5 months. I think he's like done something in his leg or something, but yeah, so basically I think the best keeper options now are Sanchez and Foster. So Sanchez unfortunately has Liverpool away this week, which isn't great by any means at all. You don't really want him for that game week, but luckily, Foster is at home to Southampton, so you can play Foster this week, and then he has Arsenal, United, Leicester, Chelsea, City. We don't have to worry about that. You only need him for Southampton at home because he seems to still be nailed, which is great, because then after this game week, you then have Sanchez for Newcastle, Villa, Leeds, West Ham, Southampton, Tottenham, and Wolves. So Sanchez is just a really nice keeper to have. He's very cheap. He got 2 bonus points at the weekend, made a lot of saves against City. You never know, if you do decide to play him this week, he might make a few saves, but I'm guessing a lot of people are going to be captaining Salah. So when everybody's captain is playing against your goalkeeper, you're probably not going to want to play that goalkeeper. So yeah, I think Foster is a good shout this week, and then after that, Sanchez just for every single week. So that's why I do believe those are the best keepers at the moment. You could go with a Ramsdale as well, but Arsenal still look a little bit shaky at the back. I am not completely convinced by them. Like I said, I'm getting rid of Tierney this week for Trent Arnold. So, Trent Alexander-Arnold got there in the end. So yeah, Sanchez and Foster in goal, I think, are the best combination you can have at the moment. Coming in at the back, we have James, Chilwell, Johnson, Alexander-Arnold, and Livramento. So, judging by the cup game last night, James did obviously play the full 90 and the extra time, but the thing is, Aspi is still out injured, so unless we get a press conference where Tuchel says otherwise, they don't really have another right back to play instead. So that's why I'm opting still for James. James is a lot more attacking. He gets forward a lot more. Aspi also can fit into that centre-back role as well instead of like Thiago Silva, because Christensen's out as well, I do believe. So I think that James is a really good option to have at the moment. And then we also have Chilwell on the other side. Alonso played the full 120 in the cup, and Chilwell came on, I think, on the 60th minute. So I'm very well, I'm expecting to see Chilwell to play at the weekend against who they got. They got Newcastle away, right? I do believe. Let me just double check that. Yeah, they've got Newcastle away. So yeah, James and Chilwell, I think, will both play. Of course, Tuchel could come out in a press conference and say that Aspi is fit to play. But even then, with how well Reece James is playing, I think he would just move Aspi into centre-back. Christensen would move out of the team, and then Reece James will have the freedom on that right wing-back, because Aspi can obviously play right-back or centre-back, so that's very nice. If you do have Aspi at the moment, again, just wait for the press conference, see if he is back at the weekend. If not, maybe use that transfer to bring in James or Chilwell, because if Azpilicueta is injured, Reece James is 1000% going to be playing. But because Alonso played the 120 minutes midweek as well, I think that Chilwell is going to play against Newcastle. So yeah, I'm very happy with those 2 fullbacks at the moment. Johnson is a player that we spoke about in the wildcard draft video we went over earlier on in the week. He's only 3.9 mil, and he's played the last two games against Everton and Tottenham, getting 2 clean sheets, which is very nice for him. So yeah, he seems to be kind of getting himself into the team. I think there might have been an injury or something, or Dawson is just not playing and he's lost his spot. spot. But yeah, they don't have the best fixtures coming up. Like, they've got Villa away, and then Liverpool, Wolves, then Man City. That's why a lot of people are getting rid of Antonio. But at the same time, a 3.9 mil defender, you can easily make an argument to just keep him in your team, especially if he's going to keep playing every single week. And then at the back, we've also got Trent instead of Cancelo. You could play Cancelo instead and then use the money elsewhere on your team. But I just think Trent is just so important. And their fixtures are like all over the place at the moment. Like, they've got a good fixture, then a bad fixture, then a good fixture. So they've got Brighton, then West Ham, then Arsenal, but then Southampton, then Everton, then Wolves. But then they've got Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham, Leeds. So, I mean, look at all those greens, man. Like, and it's Trent as well, man. Like, he's just popping off every week, bro. Like, now that he's back and everything, he's just, yeah. I mean, he hasn't scored a free kick in forever, but yeah, I need to bring him back in, which I'm obviously going to do this week. But yeah, Trent, again, you could go for Cancelo, but I much prefer Trent in that position. And then Livramento is there again. I've got Watford, Villa, and Norwich at home. So if you, for whatever reason, Reece James and Chilwell don't play over the next few weeks, you'll have Livramento coming in for you, which has some very nice fixtures. So that's the back line and the goalkeepers. Coming in at midfield, we have Sonny, Rafinha, Salah, Foden, and Norman. So Son obviously has some really nice fixtures coming up after the next two, but United at home, that's a very shaky fixture because Ollie needs to win that game, otherwise he might be walking. But with how bad they were against Liverpool, and it's also at Tottenham Stadium, I think Son could just run riot again like he did last season. Like, didn't he get like 4 goals against them last season or something ridiculous? So yeah, I think Son could be a really nice option. And then Everton, they've just conceded 5 against Watford, so they are also very shaky at the back. And then you have him for Leeds, Burnley, Brentford, and Norwich, and you don't have to waste a transfer bringing him in for these game weeks there. So again, I mean, you could have Mount instead and then use the money to upgrade to Son after the 2 fixtures of United and Everton if you really wanted to. But for me, I would like to just have Son now because I think he's definitely capable of scoring against United and Everton because they've both just conceded 5 goals. So yeah, that's why Son's in the team. Rafinha is still in the team. He is a doubt at the moment, but they've got Norwich away. Bielsa also came out and said that he should be available for the weekend. And Norwich away, like, Norwich have just conceded 7. You want Rafinha. You want some sort of good attacking Leeds player for that Norwich fixture, and what better than Rafinha? So fingers crossed he is back. He might only play like 60 minutes or something, but I think that is enough time to get a couple of returns against Norwich, who are just looking so bad at the moment. So yeah, that's why Rafinha is in the team. Of course, in the press conference, if Bielsa comes out and says, yeah, Rafinha is not fit, then you could change him for, I don't know, maybe like Sarr or someone. Sarr's at home to Southampton this week, but then I guess his fixtures go really bad. I mean, you have 0.2 in the bank with this team. Well, at least I would if I was doing it. So your prices might be a little bit higher and lower if you already have Foden or Livramento or Chilwell or James or whatever. But yeah, I mean, another 6 point whatever player you could bring in. I don't know, in Waymo maybe if he's fit. And then we've got Salah. I mean, I guess a lot of people are just going to be captaining him this week. He's just gone up again. He's like 12.9 mil now. He's going to hit 13 mil because I can see him scoring against Brighton. He's owned by like 70% of teams now. It's just ridiculous. It's going to get to the point where he's owned by like 80% of teams, but he's so expensive now. 13 mil. Like, he's just going up and up and up. Foden is a player that I would love to bring in myself. They're at home to Crystal Palace this week. He did come on in the cup game, but only played like, well, I think he came on like the 60th minute, and obviously they went to extra time as well, so I think he played around 60 minutes, but I can still see him starting against Crystal Palace. And again, if for whatever reason he doesn't, you've got Livramento coming on, who's at home to Watford, so I mean, that's not exactly a bad player to come on for him. And then you have Norman as well. I mean, this could be any 4.5 mil player. Norman is only there because, well, I mean, look at that. I mean, it's Norwich, but at the same time, they do have some really nice fixtures coming up. Leeds, Brentford, Southampton, Wolves, and Newcastle. Like, this is probably the best fixture, and it's the best fixture, and you've got all season for Norwich players. So, if you're gonna bring him in, he's playing 90 every single game as well. Like you see history, 90, 82, 90, 68, 69. Like, he's basically nailed now. And he is creating a lot of chances as well. He's just getting a little bit unlucky, but yeah, that's why he's in the team. Again, it could be any 4.5 mil player if whoever you want. Vardy is now back. He's not injured at all, so that's quite nice. He loves playing against Arsenal. So that's why he's back in the team. Again, you could go with a Jesus or someone instead, but I'm opting for Vardy just because he scored like 13 and 14 or something against Arsenal. Then he's got Leeds away, who are very shaky at the back. Chelsea's a tough fixture, but then he has Watford, Southampton, Villa, Newcastle, which I think you kind of want Jamie Vardy for. He's on penalties. Yeah, he's just a really nice option to have at the moment, and he has been in fine form. Of course, he was unlucky for that 1 point seer, but it is what it is. And then we have Tony as well, who is also on penalties. They've just got some really, really nice fixtures coming up. Burnley, Norwich, Newcastle. He scored in the cup last night, I do believe, as well. I think he got an assist as well. So yeah, Tony had a very, very nice game last night. But yeah, like I said, he's on penalties. He's just a really, really nice option. Very cheap as well. He's got up again to 6.6 mil, and I can see him going up again to 6.7 mil because obviously Brentford have Norwich, not this week, the week after, and a lot of people want to target those Norwich fixtures because they're so bad at the moment. So yeah, he might go up to 6.7. I'll be bringing him in next week for Antonio, because I want Antonio for this week at Villa. But then after that, he's got Liverpool, Wolves, City, Brighton, then Chelsea. Like, it's just not the greatest fixtures. Like, yeah, he could score a couple of goals in those fixtures, but I'm pretty sure Tony is going to outscore Antonio with these fixtures coming up. So that's why I would like to bring Tony in. But if you're on your wild card, I'd probably just bring him in this week because then you don't have to waste the transfer next week bringing him in. And then last but not least, we have Hwang. Hwang's just a nice option to have. He's very cheap, 5.7 mil. They've got Everton at home, who again just conceded 5. Then Crystal Palace, West Ham, but then you've got him for Norwich and Burnley. It is a little bit tough after that though, with Liverpool, City, Brighton, Chelsea. Like, it depends what you want to do with your Wolves players. Like, there's not really that many players you could bring in at that point. But I guess when Hwang has the terrible fixtures of like Liverpool, City, Brighton, Chelsea, would probably be the week that you think about getting rid of Son, because I mean, he has Brighton, Leicester. I mean, you could downgrade Son to I don't know, like a Mount or someone, and then bring in Antonio again for Hwang or something like that. But yeah, I think this is probably one of the best wildcards you could have at the moment. I'm not trying to be big-headed or anything like that. I think all these players are in ridiculous form, and if you can fit them all into your team like this, like, why wouldn't you? That's why I only did one draft this week, because I could have done another draft as well in the video where I play like Cancelo instead of Trent and then use that money elsewhere, but I just would prefer to have Trent. So yeah, I would have done this video tomorrow as well, but Fridays are usually my final thoughts videos, where I talk about everything, because we've usually had the press conferences by then and everything as well. So that's going to be everything for today's updated wildcard draft video. You guys have been crazy with this poll lately. I really, really appreciate it. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Let's try and hit 35. It really, really helps out. Leave a comment. What do you think of this draft? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Who are you bringing in this week? Are you using your wildcard? Let me know. Subscribe if you're brand new. We're coming up to 500 subscribers, which is ridiculous. Thank you all so much though. Have a fantastic rest of your Thursday, and until next time, peace.